Today I want to show you guys my Arduino controlled 160 amp DR44 Alternator upgrade in my '89 Renix Jeep Cherokee. So let's go over and pop the hood open. Okay, here I have the DR44 alternator installed here. I took out the old CS130 alternator that was mounted lower and mounted this new guy up a little higher. Okay, here is where the old CS130 was mounted. Here's the lower mount for the original alternator, and the upper mount is right over here. So the upper mount now is the lower mount for the new DR44 alternator. So move that up a little higher. Not as high as I would like to have it, but it's better than it was. The DR44 alternator needs a PWM signal in order to set the output voltage. If it doesn't have that PWM signal, it defaults to 13.8 volts. So if we want our normal 14.4 or 6 volts out, then we need to send it a PWM signal, and by adjusting the duty cycle of that signal, that's what sets the output voltage. So that's where the Arduino comes in. So coming over here, here's my little Arduino Nano set up here. On top here is a little temperature sensor. Kind of have it sandwiched together here so that it doesn't vibrate out and lose its connection. Make it nice and secure. I made a little PVC tube here that it goes into. So I think this is a 2-inch tube with a little cap on one end and threaded adapter on this end. This whole thing slides. Hang on. Let's put it over here. This whole thing slides right in here and then twists together. Down here I have a little connector assembly I stole from a junkyard. Came out of some early 2000 Chevy vehicle. Kind of forget what it was. But anyway, let's go inside the vehicle and start it up. Okay. Alright, so out of the cigarette lighter, I have connected, kind of jerry-rigged up here, but a digital multimeter. Show the voltage reading off the battery. Right now it's, I had it started a little while ago, so it's up to 12.9. Reading off the battery. Let's start it up. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Here's my little LCD screen with a couple push buttons. This monitor is controlled by a Teensy 3.2. It's Arduino compatible. So let's see, let's start this up. Got my little splash screen. Shows that the engine started. And this will cycle through time, voltage, and the temperature that it reads from the temperature sensor from the other Arduino. Now I set up two Arduinos, so this one, this Teensy, is communicating to the Arduino under the hood through serial interface, just the regular UART, and this will send the alternator Arduino request signal. Basically, give me the voltage, give me the temperature, and let's spit it back. Now let's zoom down here. Let's just show you. The DMM is now measuring 14.3. which, coming up here, we're measuring 14.3 off the Arduino under the hood. So I set this whole thing up to begin with because the DR44, it has the ability to adjust the voltage coming out of it. So why not make use of that? So I come in here. I have my mode button and select. So hitting the mode button in the menu, I have alternator. We'll enter that little mode, and I set up a turbo mode. If we select the select button, that toggles between turning that turbo mode on and off. If we turn it on, then we have to press the mode button to send that signal. Oh, it sent that signal, and it should be in the alternator. I kind of have it set up to kind of slowly ramp up into that voltage. Where's my display? There we go. Okay, see, now we're at 14.8. Let's come down to the DMM. That's 14.8. Good. And I might have a little software glitch in my display. It's blanking out a little bit there. Alright, so let's go in there. Let's turn off the turbo mode. Turn that off. Hit the mode button, which sends a signal out to tell the alternator Arduino to change its voltage set point. So I think we're down to 14.3 and 14.3. So let me show you a couple other options I have in here. That's it's a kind of like a turbo quick mode I put together. Say if you want to give someone a jump start, or you're winching, or maybe you have your off-road lights on and you want a little bit higher voltage output, just turn it on that turbo mode. Alright, let's go back to alternator. Hit the select. Now I can set the voltage here as well to whatever I want. Almost anything I want, as long as it's within the voltage of range of the alternator. So let's see if I wanted to set this to 13.0 volts. Target has set to 13 volts. Sorry about that. Let's scroll down to the exit. Toggle over. Now we're measuring 13.0 volts, and roughly 13 volts. Good. Okay. A couple other things I want to show you in the menu. If I want to save that new set point in the alternator Arduino's EEPROM, I can select this option here. Oh, hang on. I timed out. I got a 10-second timeout on here, so if I'm sleeping, it goes back to the regular menu. Target voltage just shows you. That's right. I forgot I had a little software bug in here that I forgot to reflash and set that up. Let's see, where was I at? Target voltage. There we go. So the target shows that the target voltage is 13.0 volts. If I wanted to, there's that error, that software glitch again. Let's toggle back down there. Target PWM. Can I get it now? Yeah, there it is. 189. That's just the PWM value that the Arduino has to set to get the right duty cycle to the alternator. Alright, a couple other things I have in here. Just display. I can turn on clock on and off, and this is just what cycles through normally on the display. I can turn date on and off here. Some other stuff. Let's see, I have engine temperature on here, but that I don't have implemented yet. That I'm planning on tapping off of the thermostat housing temperature sensor, which isn't a normal sensor that came with the Renix era Jeeps. I just happened to grab a new thermostat housing and a temp sensor. I have plans to use it, but haven't set it up yet. Alright. And there's an RTC clock module running in here, so if I needed to set and update the clock or date, I can just come in here and set that up. Yep, changing stuff here. Let's change that back. Oh, am I hitting the wrong button? I think I was hitting the wrong button. I'm not watching the screen. There we go. Anyway, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.